Portugal is located in southwestern Europe on the Iberian Peninsula. It has only one land border, which is over 1,200 kilometers long, to the east, with Spain. To the west stretches the Atlantic Ocean, where two islands groups are located that also belong to Portugal, Madeira and the Azores. In total, Portugal has an area of about 92,000 square kilometers, which makes it larger than Austria, and 10.4 million inhabitants. The capital of this semi-presidential republic is Lisbon. The north of Portugal is predominantly mountainous, including the Serra da Estrela, where the highest mountain in continental Portugal, 1993 meters, is located. The southern third is the flat to hilly Alentejo. The coastal region in the south is called the Algarve. The most important rivers in the country are the Douro and the Tagus, which flows into the Atlantic Ocean near Lisbon via an extensive river delta, also called the Mar da Palha. Not far from there is Cabo da Roca, which is the westernmost point of the mainland Europe. The tip to the southwest is Cape St. Vincent. The Azores can be divided into three groups. In the northwest with the island of Flores, in the center with Pico, Terceira, São Jorge, and Faial, and in the southeast with São Miguel, the largest Azorean island, and Santa Maria. The island of Pico is home to the mountain of the same name, the highest in Portugal at 2,351 meters. Madeira includes the main island of Madeira, Porto Santo, and smaller and uninhabited island groups. The continental part of Portugal has a Mediterranean climate with warm summers in the north and center and hot summers in the east and south of the country. In general, the Atlantic Ocean ensures that winters are very mild in many regions. The islands have different climates depending on the side of the island and the altitude. The Azores mostly a moderate strongly oceanic climate, but partly also oceanic subtropical, for example on Madeira, as well as a semi-arid steppe climate on Porto Santo. Portugal's population is particularly concentrated in the coastal areas, while the hinterland is sparsely populated. By far, the largest city in Portugal is Lisbon, with around 3 million inhabitants in the metropolitan area. It is followed by Porto, with about 1.7 million in the metropolitan area, Coimbra, Braga, Funchal, and Guimarães. The language of the overwhelming majority of the population is Portuguese, a Romance language. In Miranda do Douro, on the border with Spain, Mirandês, another Romance language, is a recognized minority language. Portugal has long been a typical immigration country, and numerous Portuguese now live especially in France and other countries of Western Europe. The most important immigrant group in Portugal is over 200,000 Brazilians. The dominant religion is Catholicism, to which more than 80% of the population belongs. A small part is non-religious, and numerous other religions are represented in small numbers. Although Portugal is one of the high-income countries, it is still considered the poorest country in Western Europe, with a per capita income of $24,500, and the hinterland in the north and center in particular have a low level of development. Agriculture accounts for only about 2% of GDP. The country is particularly known for its wines, including port, which is produced in the Douro Valley. Other important products are cork, the country is the world's largest producer, almonds, olives, and pears. Madeira even grows bananas. Despite its favorable climate, however, Portugal is dependent on imports for foodstuffs. In terms of mineral resources, tungsten deposits are particularly important. Portugal has a diversified industrial sector. Important industries are the automobile and bicycle industries. Portugal is now the largest manufacturer of bicycles in Europe. Aviation, electronics, and textiles. There is also an emerging IT industry. The service sector accounts for around 2/3 of economic output. This includes banks and insurance companies. Tourism is particularly important here. Important destinations are Lisbon and the surrounding area, Fatima as a place of pilgrimage, and the Algarve and Madeira for beach tourism. Portugal today has a well-developed road network with tollways. The rail network is in Iberian broad gauge, and the Alpha Pendular high-speed train runs on upgraded lines between Lisbon and other major cities. There are plans to build a true high-speed line between Lisbon and Porto by 2030, but construction of the high-speed line between Lisbon and Madrid is not currently being pursued by the Portuguese side. By far, the most important airport is Lisbon, followed by Porto, Faro on the Algarve, and Funchal on Madeira. The most important ports are Sines, Lisbon, and Leixões in the greater Porto area. This concludes the overview of Portugal. Thanks for watching. Until next time.